Yo, what's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the DreArea Sports Show. I'm joined by Niner Dan. Daniel, I'm joined by Dre Day 49. Dre, what's up?
Still here, still faithful, guys.
Still faithful, of course.
Hell yeah,
good to see you guys.
So, look, we had a crazy. What's up, Jason? Good to see you, buddy. We had a really good season. And we got all the way to the Super Bowl, and that's nothing to be ashamed of. I mean, we what we did was incredible. We got all the way to the very end. Now, unfortunately, the Niners did lose, so and I'm not ashamed to say it. Okay, the Chiefs squeaked out the win. I mean, they had to pull out all the stops, and this was not the best Chiefs team. This was not the best Chiefs team that they've ever had in the championship, in the Super Bowl. But they had to. They needed some luck, and they needed the Niners to fuck up a few times. But the main thing is, and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, is there was 3 key third downs in this game that the Niners fucked up on, and the Chiefs capitalized on defensively. Now, we knew that going into this game defensively, they are a very disciplined defensive team. And like I said, there were 3 third downs that really showed that. Yeah, on the first, not the first drive, but the first drive in which we hit a field goal. We had a third down play in the almost in the red zone, and they were able to break up that play, and we were not able to convert. I want to say they got pressure on Purdy, right? So that led to their first field goal. That could have been a touchdown. And if McCaffrey doesn't fumble that ball on the first drive, that might make it 10-0 right off the bat, real fast. It could have been 14-0 really fast.
That's one of my key points to pretty much the result of the game. There's about 10 key things that happened in my mind that and when you all look at it, changed the outcome of the game. And you alluded it to the first one, the third and 5 in the fourth quarter, where Trent McDuffie comes off the edge. Talking about how maybe if George Kittle lined up in the backfield, could have recognized and slid his left for pass protection. Maybe Brock Purdy could have delivered a quicker pass to Brendan Ayuk, but in the end, the result is what it is, 3 and out, and I think we kicked a field goal. But could have been 7 points there. There's a lot of key third downs, but I think the 3 that you mentioned were the big ones.
Yeah, I mean, the second one was at the end of regulation. They had a third down, and I mean, even Tony Romo even said, "This is the game right here." If they hit a first down, he hits one of those passes and gets a first down, the game is. I mean, we can ice the game with a kick, a field goal to win the game. Correct. And I think that was one that McDuffie got in on. And yeah, yes, it was. He blitzed.
53-yard field goal. 1:53 remaining allows Mahomes and the rest of the Chiefs to come back and tie the game, send it into overtime.
Yeah, and if we would have hit that field goal, that would have changed everything. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to find each third down and we'll see it in live action. I don't care.
There's the fourth one in OT as well too.
Yeah. So that was another play in overtime. I mean, if you get a touchdown, I mean, yeah, the Chiefs did end up scoring a touchdown in overtime, but I mean, now you force them to have to get a touchdown, mentally. And, again, they did a corner blitz. It was a blown coverage, in terms of blocking, and Chris Jones got in with fucking nobody blocking him. Imagine the size of that guy, like fucking Sasquatch running at you. You're just like, holy shit. And he had a touchdown to Brandon Ayuk, and he had Jennings as well. He had 2 options for a touchdown, and he was unable to convert. And we got a field goal, which then led to the Chiefs just scoring right down the field. And, it sucks. It sucks the way it went down.
Another key point there is the inconsistent play of the whole offensive line throughout the game.
Yeah.
And the inaccuracy of Brock Purdy, which he, in my mind, was affected because of the pass rush.
Well, they definitely got the pass rush on him at key times. And that's what really fucked them up.
It was those key times where that defense came up and got the pressure on Purdy.
When you had to.
Yeah, they
And
had it. Yeah.
Spagnuolo was pretty creative with his scheme, his blitz scheme. I mean, with the secondary they have, they can blitz from every angle. You got to be ready for pretty much everything.
So here's one of them right here. Now this one here, they were. Let me take this banner off so we can see a little more of the screen. Now on this one, it was 3rd and 14. So already you're looking at a big conversion right here, right? But still, it's early in the game. No one scored yet, and you're coming off a possession in which Christian McCaffrey fumbled the ball, which already was like a what the fuck moment. It was like, what just happened?
Right.
All three of us were like, what? He was down, right? He was down, knee down. Fuck! I couldn't believe it. And at that point,
of all players.
He never fumbles, right? He never fumbles. He had one fumble this year, I think, against the Browns. And then another one in the Super Bowl of all games. Makes no
like
fucking sense.
It's stuff like that just makes you wonder how. I mean, just that keeping that one possession, I think, obviously changes the outcome of the game. You look at him with that huge mistake, being in his first Super Bowl. Trent Williams, kind of the same way. His first Super Bowl, he had 2 key penalties back to back. That one drive that stalled that drive. We ended up having to punt that series
that's
too.
A good point. Yeah,
already in a rhythm, and looking good, and just completely marching it down. So key contributors not coming up in the biggest moment.
Yeah, I mean, realistically, they have Snead and they have McDuffie, and these are 3, realistically shutdown corners. But we'll talk about them a little bit later as well. But here's the play right here. Look, it's 3rd and 14. You figure, yes, you're in field goal range, but it's a 55-yarder. I didn't quite understand this play call myself, but here it is right here. So Purdy drops back and he's under pressure and he throws it downfield, and he was well covered.
He was covered, and I think he was just trying to make a play at that point.
I think so, but I mean, if
you look at it, I don't think receivers were open.
No,
on this play.
Okay, let's look. There goes Debo. Ayuk almost fell over. Yeah. Jennings is the one guy that you can get it close to the sticks. Watch. So here let's go back real quick.
And you can see
the O line is just falling apart. Okay, so they did a blitz.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's at least 6 guys going that you can see.
So they have all 4 plus a linebacker coming in. So you got 5 guys coming in at you, right? If I do it slow enough, it won't hit me with copyright. I think
there's like a hesitation too. So there's 6. I think there's 6 of them.
So here, this is to me. Oh shit! That was your best option, was to get Jennings, and you can see right here when he throws the ball, he's already looking downfield. He's like, "Fuck it, I'm going to go for it." Look at Jennings there.
You got somebody closing in on the right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You have Jennings and Ayuk right there. Now, granted, it's going to be short of the sticks, but there's a chance that they break that tackle or they get it close enough to get that first down.
Had to do break one tackle. It's looking like it was man-to-man everywhere else.
Look, Ayuk's like, and you can kind of see it, but Ayuk is actually running in this direction because he cut back. So if he would have caught that, he could have went for a minute. You know what I mean? At least gotten past the to get a first down.
Yeah, if you go back to the hike of the ball, though, you can kind of see like the blocking scheme on that one, and that's what
breakdown.
See, you got McCaffrey, who ends up trying to block. I think was that Chris Jones right there?
I don't know. Let me see what he does.
Yeah, that is Chris Jones.
Kind of delay.
He's like, holy shit!
You almost wanted Kyle Juszczyk right there.
Yeah, but
to back him up and then flank out McCaffrey.
It's true, but at the same time, it's like you can only have so many guys on the field, and I think that like if you swapped out McCaffrey for Juszczyk, for blocking, everyone knows Juszczyk is not going to get the ball. So
but you have to expect a blitz.
Yeah,
on
that's
3rd
true.
and 14, you got to expect a blitz.
That's the other question that comes to mind too, is how come we didn't use more bubble screens and more just quick outs with our running backs in order to, compensate for the blitz.
I want to say all year too. Exactly. All year, Kyle Shanahan has done, those bubble screens or screens in general against the blitz on 3rd and 14, 3rd and long. He always does one of those. Here, he didn't do that. He kept them back there for blocking. And again, I think Kyle Shanahan is an amazing head coach. I think he's a great play caller. But sometimes he calls these plays where you're just like, wait a minute, dude. Like,
yeah, he's
Kyle Juszczyk should have been back there.
He's trying to make
on 3rd and 14. You want McCaffrey out in the field, looking to get the ball rather than stuck in the backfield blocking Chris Jones.
Working in space, and
look at
we're looking for the big one. We're looking to put up 7 right away. Being a little too aggressive.
Here's George Kittle, who's basically blocking right now, and then you're left with McCaffrey, and it's kind of like, look, dude. If it really felt like Juszczyk should have been in place of McCaffrey, especially if he's going to stay behind and block, you need a bigger body down there that can hold the pocket for you, especially against fucking the monster and Chris Jones, who's going right by Aaron Banks. Like, excuse me, oh shit. So that was one of them, right? I felt like that was a play in which the Niners had an opportunity to really kind of put the ball in a better position to where they could have even said, are we going to go for it on 4th down? Can we go for it on 4th down and put pressure on these guys? And again, it just didn't happen. There's another one. Let's see if I can get to it in time. We're almost there now. Shit. I hate watching this. There it went. Hold on. Let me see. Oh my God, come on. So this is 4th down in the I'm sorry, this is 3rd down in the 4th quarter with a tie game of 16-16. Christian McCaffrey just ran up the middle for a 1st down. And now it's first, what is it? It's a 1st down on the 40-yard line, right? Mm-hmm. On the Kansas City 40-yard line. Oh my God, dude, this thing's going so slow. What is this? Oh, I was rewinding it. That sucks. There we go. Let's see. Okay, so this was probably the biggest play of the game, and this would have sealed the game if we would have converted on this. Let me turn that off. On this possession. So let's see. So here it is right here. 16-16. 2 minutes left. Okay, we just hit the 2-minute warning. McCaffrey, our head just got a 1st down. I want to say they did a couple of running plays that got him to 3rd and 4, right? Which is manageable. So, 3rd and 4 is completely manageable, right?
Yep.
This is two down territory. Why don't you maybe try to keep the ball on the ground and try to get that 1st down?
You go to a 4-receiver set with McCaffrey in the backfield that you're gonna that he's actually gonna come out and come out here for a pass, right? So now basically it's their O-line, it's your O-line against their blitz. Now he's betting on I want to say I feel like Shanahan was thinking here, if I have a 4-receiver set with McCaffrey in the backfield, they are not going to blitz because they need to have everyone back in coverage. Unfortunately, they didn't care. They were like, yeah, no, we're going to blitz.
They didn't care.
They didn't care. And so then here it comes. There's McDuffie, unblocked, boom.
Yeah.
And that was big because when we go back, right there. So as McDuffie starts to come, here's McDuffie. This is the guy. Brandon Ayuk is wide open for a 1st down.
Yeah, he was.
Mm-hmm. It was 3rd down, so I'm thinking maybe he's like, oh, I'm going to go to 3rd and Juwan. Juwan Jennings was having a great game, but this is the guy. This is the biggest miss of all misses in this game. If you hit him for a 1st down, you can ice this game with a field goal. And you never let Mahomes. You never let Mahomes get back on the field.
Yeah. Yeah. You burn clock. You burn time. Yeah.
He was never even looking at him. He was looking at McDuffie the entire time, was like, holy shit.
And just threw a bad pass.
Well, it got deflected.
It got deflected. Well. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
But see, look, he's throwing the ball in this direction, which causes McDuffie to deflect it. If he throws the ball this way towards Brandon Ayuk right here, I think he gets that ball off.
Yeah, because you see the two O linemen pretty much stemming the two defenders right there. I think there is a passing lane, which you're pretty much pointing out. Yeah.
Or even if he scrambles to his right and goes through that gap, he might create a pocket where he can throw the ball.
Maybe. I mean, McDuffie is fast.
He's closing in pretty quick.
Yeah, you would have to do it pretty immediately.
Yeah, it would have been like drop back, boom, go.
The moment you see McDuffie, pretty much
what? Wide open. Yeah. I mean, just running through.
Like you need to make that decision right then and there that you're going to creep up in the pocket,
blood in his eyes
over that throw.
But this is it right here, man. If he hits Brandon Ayuk right here for a first down, we ice the game for a kick. Now, does Moody make the kick? I don't know. I mean, he hit every kick that he fucking hit in this game, so I would assume, he would have hit it, and we would have won the game. Yeah. And you never let Mahomes get back on the field.
Right, and that's what you don't want, is to give that ball to that dude to fucking win the game, and that's what happened.
At the same time, okay, I think that we need to kind of put everything back into perspective. We're talking about Brock Purdy, who was a second-year quarterback, his first full season as a Niners quarterback. So this is a very young guy. You know what I mean? Like, he's only, 23, 24? And he's out there playing his ass off. And
no doubt. No, I don't put this loss on Purdy whatsoever.
No, not at all. But I do believe
he played really well.
I do believe that if this was like a Joe Burrow, I think he hits Ayuk for that first down.
Yes.
The only thing I can think of right here is that because he's under so much pressure and he notices that the cornerback has his fucking arms all over fucking Juwan Jennings, he's thinking maybe he can get a pass interference. And let's see what he does. No, he let go. But still, like, that was that was the game right there. Yeah, and look at where number 26, I think that's Reed. By the time that ball would have got to him, right? Bam, he would have caught it right there, probably. You know what I mean? Or there.
If you bring it back to the snap, let's see McDuffie real quick. Let's see the path he took.
It was a clear path foul. Look at this. It's obvious that, I mean, if anything, look, it's down to 9 seconds. I would have ran that bitch down to 1 second to see what they're going to do. I mean, granted, I wasn't actually playing the game, but look. So he hikes the ball, and this would have been a good spot for a hard count, but, it's kind of hard to think about that. Mm-hmm. And so here it is. There's nobody there. Nobody.
Yeah, that pocket, I mean, the middle of the pocket looks pretty closed too at that point too.
And look, the whole play right there was done in less than 2 seconds.
Yeah,
it was. And that's 2 minute. And we're seeing in slow motion, obviously. So 2 seconds, you gotta make that read. I mean, that is some elite football if you can do that.
I mean, look how fast it went. 1, 2. I mean, it's
3 seconds.
Yeah. It's just so fast.
The Ayuk play, that's where the ball needed to go. Now, granted, look, when he threw it, this guy's putting his hands up, so maybe he deflects it anyway. I don't know, but I think that, what Daniel was saying, that, like, if Purdy would have, ran with it, right, you need to be able to back up, pump fake, and go. You know what I mean? Like, because if he pump fakes and gets him in the air, then he can go. If he just started to run, he just would have tracked him down. Like, and it's just like, fuck.
And he might have got sacked anyways on that play, regardless.
One of the D-line sheds a tackle and just makes, and brings him down as he's trying to climb the pocket. So
right, but I mean, at least if anything, if you get sacked, I think the clock still runs, right?
Yeah, if you get sacked, the clock still runs. Yeah. But at that point, the Chiefs might have taken a timeout there. Who knows?
Right, and I think just being a Purdy fan, full supporter, you got to imagine this can only make the kid better under these type of situations, and we can all look back at this and be like, that's what he did, and now this is what he's doing, because I think from everything I've seen with Spags, his interviews post Super Bowl, his comments post Super Bowl, he was pretty much blown away about what Purdy was able to do against his defense.
Absolutely. Yeah. He was like, holy shit. He knows how close they were to losing that game.
Yeah.
Like, this guy was shredding us.
Exactly. Give the man his due. He had been doing this all season, getting so much flack from media, former players and everything, and the way he performed and the way he kept us in the game and didn't make very many mistakes. And yes, you can pretty much cement it to maybe just a slight inexperience in certain situations, the one we just looked at. But overall, I mean, the Niners have a bright future at quarterback, barring his health. And if we can keep the pieces together, and obviously we're going to talk about, the moves hopefully that are made during the offseason, look to the draft to get younger, to get, to get more depth on the squad and try to make another run at it, because the fact that our Niners lost in the final seconds of this game. Hey, Felix, what's going on, buddy? Thanks for tuning in, baby. The fact that they were there, literally to the very end in overtime of the Super Bowl. It's a lot to overcome, and it's gonna be tough. But I believe in this league, if there's any team that can get back to it after suffering this type of loss, I think the Niners have the pieces to do it.
They do.
We'll see what happens.
This wouldn't surprise me either. What Anthony's saying, I predict that's probably gonna be Chiefs Niners again. This is going to be like Warriors Cavs, and we're the fucking Cavs. Damn it! Damn it! Hey, the Cavs got one though, right? So I mean, hey, you never know. But that last play that we were talking about, the play where he could have he should have hit Ayuk, and maybe he could, maybe he couldn't, but that was where it had to go.
Yeah.
If on that play, if Christian McCaffrey would have stayed home to block, or let's say Kyle Juszczyk's in the game to block. Either way, if McCaffrey stays back and picks up McDuffie on that blitz, that's a first down. He would have hit Ayuk right down the middle.
Yeah, you almost can look at that play and be like, maybe that play and the other play should have been reversed. The one in the second quarter versus the one in the fourth.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because that extra block from McCaffrey kept that play alive in the first quarter.
Right.
And to think that they weren't going to blitz, I think he thought, well, he has 4 receivers, a fifth in McCaffrey out of the backfield. One of these guys is going to get open, and one of them did get open, but the pressure got there too fucking fast.
Right.
And if he would have stayed home and blocked McDuffie, that's a first down, and Niners probably win that game.
Yeah, and I think that's credit to Spagnuolo for identifying the situation, knowing that the Niners have a young quarterback, inexperienced, and he kept so much pressure on Purdy, like it was constant. So like
that's all he had. That's all he had.
That's all he had.
That was the game plan. Let's call it what it is.
Yeah,
as much pressure as he could apply on Purdy. If he was going to get burnt here or there, the goal was to keep the Niners, under 25 points if you could, and try to make a play here and there, and special teams, defensively, and it wasn't necessarily turnovers. It was just forcing us to go 3 and out. That was pretty much it.
Well, I mean, for the most part, look, he went 23 of 38 for 255, a touchdown, and his quarterback rating was 89.3. Mahomes 34 of 46, 333. A lot of that came in the second half and in overtime. 2 touchdowns, 1 pick, and he threw at a 99.3% quarterback rating. But we had a lot of pressure on him. I think the defense was playing their ass off. But by the time we got to overtime, they were gassed. I mean, they were going 100 miles an hour. Now they're like, holy fuck.
And our whole defense wasn't even on the field at that point either.
No. And you lost Dre Greenlaw. That was huge. Losing Dre Greenlaw. Holy fuck.
You think you might have even had him as a slight spy on him on those final series, when Mahomes pretty much shredded us with his legs.
He did. And I thought that Oren Burks played good for covering for him, but he's not
Greg Greenlaw. He's not even close.
Drake Greenlaw. In fact, there's a statistic that in the second half, there was not 7 or 9 targets that were thrown at Oren Burks, and all those targets were positive yards. They were completed.
Yeah. And that's the story of the second half, and why it was a few key plays that happened down the stretch because we didn't have Dre Greenlaw, which I in my mind, you think he's roaming the field sideline to sideline, and he probably prevents a couple of Kelsey catches, the one to Mecole Hardman. I mean, again, we're all speculating, but in my mind, consistent he is on a day in and day out basis every week. I just think it's probably a different outcome if he's on the field.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's a great cover linebacker,
Yes, yeah. Him and Warner were graded very high this year for coverage down the middle. And they're two of the best to do that do it. So having Oren Burks out there again, that's a weakness that was exploited by the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Let's see. I'm so close to finding the statistic, but yeah, I mean, even essentially in the second half, they exploited the fact that Oren Burks was out there, and that's how Kelsey started getting all those catches.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what kind of kept him in the game.
He had a huge second half.
Yeah.
Burks couldn't contain Kelsey, creating space for the short throws that paved the way for 4 different scoring drives of at least 47 yards over the final 2 quarters and overtime. Kelsey had 1 catch for 1 yard in the first half. He finished the game with 9 catches for 93 yards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not all of those were on Oren Burks. I saw some in the second half that were on Fred Warner. But I mean, he can't do everything. You know what I mean? Like, come on.
He can't be everywhere.
He can't.
Too much for one person.
Now, when it comes to overtime, okay, there was a lot of talk about what Kyle Shanahan had them do was to accept the ball. Take the ball first in overtime. And that was a big topic of controversy about should he have deferred? Because now if you defer, then you know exactly what you got to do. You either got to get a field goal or a touchdown. I think when you have a younger quarterback, that puts a lot more pressure on them because now they're like, holy shit, I have to score a touchdown. I have to score a touchdown. I can't fuck this up. And you're going against a secondary that has been giving Brock Purdy problems, for most of the game, especially in the second half, especially with the blitzing that they were doing. So I kind of get why Shanahan, accepted the ball.
Yeah.
But what do you guys think? Dre, let's start with you. Do you think that Kyle Shanahan should have deferred and got the ball second?
We can sit here and argue about it all day, but you're the head coach. You have confidence in your quarterback. You have confidence in your offense that they're going to go down and get the job done. I think it's the right decision, to be honest. Like I said, we can sit here and say if he defers it, does Patrick Mahomes just take the ball and drive it down the field on that first series and score a touchdown, and then we're already in the hole? I mean, you can look at it either way. I think the way things were going, I think he wanted the ball in Purdy's hands. I don't know what was going on, if he thought maybe with the injury to Dre Greenlaw and the way the defense was looking towards the end of the game, is it justifiably the right decision to put the defense on the field first, and let them work against Patrick Mahomes? So again, I don't really have an issue with the decision that was made.
All right, Daniel, what about you? Should he
have
deferred?
An issue.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, I think he should have deferred. I think that you do not want to give the ball to Patrick Mahomes to win a game, because that's what ended up happening, right? Mm-hmm. And listening to kind of Shanahan post game, I think I heard comments around the area where I thought his defense. He thought his defense was a little bit tired, giving them a break to get Purdy out there. But I also think that was part of the game plan. That was his pregame strategy that he didn't communicate to his team, which is a problem, I think. What he wanted to do in overtime. And he didn't, and he played right into the Chiefs' hands, because if you listen to the commentary on the field, that's exactly what the Chiefs wanted. And he played right into it. So I do think it was a mistake. I do think they should have deferred and let the defense do what they can do against Mahomes, and then let's go out there and try to win this game.
I mean, when you say it like that, I mean, yeah, if you defer, then you're putting your defense right back on the field. but you know that even if they score, you're going to get the ball back, and
Right.
you got a chance to tie it. Which I think,
and that's what you want. That's what you want.
Yeah.
You want that the ball last to win the game, right? If you're in the NBA Finals and you're down by 2 or you're down by 1, you want that ball so you get an opportunity to win a game.
I agree with what Felix is saying here. Our defense was gassed, and putting them back on the field right off the bat might have been tough. But the problem is that even when they got back on the field after the Niners' possession, they still looked gassed. So I don't think it would have made a difference at this point in hindsight. But at the time, I probably would have thought about, man, they're fucking tired. You know, let's see if we can go down and score a touchdown and put pressure on these guys to have to score. But the problem is you got Patrick Mahomes back there who's, you know, he's right now he's the best quarterback in the league. Easily.
Yeah, hands down.
But the Niners had the ball to start overtime. There was one play on here that I thought was just such a brilliant play by Brock Purdy. I'm going to bring it up right now. Let's see. So this was 2nd and 6 as they're driving on the field. Let's take a look. He gets under pressure. He's like, holy shit. Bam. And then this is what led to that huge run from McCaffrey. Got him all the way down to like the 25. And that was a huge play. And he was well under pressure. And he made that play happen. A lot of quarterbacks, like if that was Jimmy Garoppolo, he would have went down.
Oh,
he'd have been
sure.
like, fuck.
I think a number of quarterbacks would win. And I think in these playoffs, you know, the Chiefs defense was playing at a whole nother level. And I mean, give Purdy the credit for making the play, recognizing the pressure, having the poise to step up, give yourself a little extra time to complete that pass to McCaffrey. I mean, he was doing that all game. Again, give the Chiefs credit. They made one extra play pretty much down the stretch to seal the victory.
Yeah.
So
it's rough. Okay, so here it is. This is the final 3rd down. The last one, which is a really cool play, and I just want to show that Purdy made that play happen. Thanks, Axel. What's up? Go Bears or something. He's
Go Bears.
Thank you, Axel. I appreciate it, man.
Trade Justin Fields.
I know. This was the biggest play of the game. I mean, I actually thought the play at the end of the 4th quarter was the biggest play of the game because that would allow you you control your own destiny at that point. You get that 1st down, you could still run a few plays to try and score a touchdown or kick a field goal to win the game. So you control your own destiny. Here is 3rd down and 4. Again, a 3rd and 4. Same thing, like in the last play we talked about, 3rd and 4. Now in this play, it's a bunch formation up at the top. You got Debo and Ayuk right here, Kittle, and then you have Jennings out here on his own with McCaffrey running around, right? So as this play develops, he hikes the ball. He fakes a handoff to McCaffrey, which I don't think was a bad call at all.
Yeah, because
I don't think so either.
Edge.
But when you have fucking Sasquatch running at you, holy shit! Now, I don't know who this is. Is that Feliciano who's right there,
Feliciano?
No, he's right here. Feliciano, and then McKivitz.
McKivitz.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, yes.
So here we go. And McKivitz is like, okay, I'm going to take nobody.
No, I'm going to block nobody.
Oh, jeez.
Look at me. I can fly.
And so, so look, he comes in on the blitz. Feliciano takes the combo block and takes this right here, which allows this guy to go free and Chris Jones to go free. McKivitz is blocking nobody. He's blocking air. And what sucks about this play is that as you watch it, unfold, look at Brandon Ayuk up top.
Yeah.
Oh,
open.
He's wide open.
Touchdown.
Wide open. And even
he doesn't even have time to excuse me. He doesn't even have time to scan the left side of the field because he's pretty much Chris Jones is in his face.
If you hike it again, Andre, let's take a look at the time at the hike. Yeah, we're looking at
the other thing too, real
1
quick,
to 2 second thought.
when I saw this play in live action, being as hammered as I was, I thought he was going right here to George Kittle, because I saw him facing there. I saw a lane right here. I'm thinking, if he gets it to him, he can rumble all the way for a first down. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And then, let me see. Hold on. No one's gonna get that. And even he was open.
Yeah, he
Jennings.
was open.
Yeah, he ends up.
He was open. He was open. I mean, he was open. I mean, look how far back he has. 2 steps on that D-back right there.
Yeah, it's amazing. He's the line of scrimmage is at what, almost the 8-yard line, and he's throwing at the 20.
Yeah, because he has fucking Chris Jones all over him. This is when he actually threw the ball.
It's amazing he even got that throw off.
Yeah, that's a clean lane to the quarterback.
And that's a clean touchdown to Brandon Ayuk right there.
Yeah.
But again, he doesn't even have to scan the left side of the field. I mean, he's looking the right side the whole time.
It's just
again
poor O-line play right there. Poor blocking, and it cost us a Super Bowl. I mean, an opportunity to win one right there.
Let's see. I mean, was he ever looking at Ayuk? He never was. He knew exactly where he wanted to go.
Yeah.
He wanted to go to Jennings. And I don't think in this play, I almost feel like he wasn't going for the touchdown. He was going for the first down.
Right there.
Again being draped on. I don't know who's covering Juwan at that point, but guy's all over him. He's almost getting dragged to the ground.
And what was Brandon Ayuk's stat line for this game?
He had 3 catches.
3 catches.
So
you can see he was getting open, but the pressure on Purdy
did not allow him to scan. Did not allow him
to make the reads.
Yeah,
3 catches for 49 yards.
Now I wonder what was the hot read on this play versus where Brock went. You know, he didn't even look up there. And you know, if you're a quarterback, you're like, "Where's my primetime dudes?"
Okay, so my good friend Drew Forder, he says you still got to go for it on 4th down. Field goal equals loss.
Yeah.
That was another thing too. Was that on 4th down, it was like, oh my God, should we actually be going for this? But I think at that point, Shanahan was like, I don't want to leave points on the board. But I mean, it was 3rd and 4. It's not like they lost yards in this play. He threw it away, and they had 2 guys open for a touchdown. Like I said, I thought for sure, in my drunken state, that he was going right here to Kittle, and Kittle, I think if he would have caught this, he would have got a first down. I think he would have rumbled his way over there.
Or more.
If you watch how it unfolds, like watch Kittle right here, watch. He would have got it.
Oh, yeah, he would have got it. And look if you go for it on 4th down and you don't get a first down or a touchdown, guess what? Now you have the Chiefs pinned. Right?
Yeah.
You have the Chiefs pinned right there. I mean, that's the best kickoff you can have if you just if you deferred. So
now, obviously, if you don't get it, it's a momentum swing. You're like, shit. They stopped us, and this is not good. But
it's true.
I'm sorry, but like, there's been a lot of talk about Feliciano. I'm sorry. That's Burford? Actually, I'm sorry. Is that Burford? 74. That's Burford. Yeah, he's black. So Spencer Burford goes in and leaves everyone wide open. Because look at the blitz, he doesn't even get through. He's like, he kind of stutter steps.
And that's why McKivitz is blocking nobodies, because he's thinking Burford's there, picking up Chris Jones. McKivitz is helping on the edge after the guy's blowing by George Kittle. Again, you have the opportunity to maybe go short there. It's a complete breakdown.
But it's too late. It's too late.
Offensive blocking. It's a complete breakdown, and it screws up the whole execution of this play. The extra reads, the opportunity to make a play. I don't know what else to write it up as. So.
The worst part about this is that there's 2 ways to look at it. We talked about how he was staring down Juwan Jennings the entire time. So it's almost like he wanted to go there. But I think that the way this play unfolds is you look to your right and then you finish to your left. to Brandon Ayuk. And the reason why I say that is because watch, look what Brandon Ayuk does right here against Snead, who was shutting down Ayuk all fucking night, right? So here it goes. He goes outside and he cuts back in, and holy shit, he's turned around. He's on the fucking ground.
That's an easy pass that even I can make.
That I want to say
with no pressure, of course.
I want to say that was a successful touchdown throughout the season. That play, I know I've seen that play.
And so
a few times this season.
I feel like he looked right because he wants to look off,
everyone, and everybody's fooled.
But then when you have Chris Jones coming at you, you're already looking that direction. You're like, holy shit. And he essentially just throws it away.
Yeah. Now it makes you wonder if you have a guy back there playing quarterback who's a little bit more mobile. Does he do like a spin and get out and like a Lamar Jackson, right?
No,
I don't think so.
I don't think even Lamar
can he do it
out of that one, I
don't know. I'm just saying,
Josh Allen or Deshaun Watson. Any of those guys, they're not getting out of that one.
Definitely not Deshaun Watson.
No. And in the end of the game, Niners lost. But I think that in this game, they had plenty of opportunities to win this game. I've heard people say, the Chiefs were just a better team. No, they weren't the better team. But what they did was the Chiefs executed on third down 3 times in this game. That made a huge fucking difference. And on top of that, you have Patrick Mahomes, who in that last possession with a gas defense, he orchestrated a drive where he ran twice. He's throwing the ball. It was going to be tough to stop him, and they were not able to. And you didn't have Dre Greenlaw; he was already out. Yeah. I don't even think Ambry Thomas even played in this game. I don't even remember seeing him out there. I saw Logan Ryan out there. I didn't see Ambry Thomas.
But they went with the veteran play at the slot corner. Yeah,
you also gotta criticize a little bit about the coaching, because I think in some situational stuff that went on in that game, we got out coached a little bit here. They had the better game plan. They were able to kind of do stuff on the fly, which is what Spagnuolo's talked about. He said that he changed some of his defensive schemes on the fly during the game, where you saw Shanahan taking a defensive timeout.
Yeah.
Because of what Wilk is doing.
He was playing too soft.
It's like, what the fuck's going on? Timeout, bro. What are you doing? So I think, coaching is a big part of this as well. Execution on the field, we're seeing it right there, right? We saw some opportunities missed, but coaching was really big.
Look at all these guys. They're all back here. Let's see.
Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah, pretty much giving them the first down line.
Yeah, giving them the first down. It's like, you almost thought they were playing like a what do you call that?
Prevent.
Or deep a prevent, like a junior prevent there. It's like, he's gone. We're not going to hopefully see that anymore.
Yeah, he's gone.
Good segue into the next topic.
Yeah, let's move on.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so Steve Wilkes was fired soon after this game was over. I'm sure when they got to the locker room, he probably said, "By the way, you're fucking fired."
Yeah.
You know what? I bet you
pack your bags. You're out of here.
Was already in the works prior to this.
Yeah, even if they win the game, I don't know. We'll see. But
I think there was already thought behind this.
What's up, Hunter Iggy? Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah.
But no. He's gone, and to me, look, even if we win this game, he was never the right fit for this defense.
Correct.
The sacks were down, the pass, the pressure on the quarterback was way down from the previous two with DeMeco Ryans and Robert Saleh.
Yeah.
I was hoping, this sounds awfully mean, but I was actually hoping that Robert Saleh was going to get fired so that they can try to re-sign that guy as their defensive coordinator. But let's talk about the defensive coordinator. There's been a lot of talk about should the Niners go after Bill Belichick to be their defensive coordinator as a way to show the rest of the players we're going all in this year, because this might be the second to last year that we have Brock Purdy. Look, Brock Purdy's on his 3rd year coming up, right? After that, he's got his 4th year, and then you got to pay him. Now, who's to say he's not going to throw a fit in his 4th year? I don't think he will, but you never know. I think that the best thing they could possibly do at this point is hire Bill Belichick as their defensive coordinator, because he's if you look at the Patriots, right? Even this last year when they sucked, they still had a top 10 defense. Their defense was actually still legit
every game. Yeah,
because he's a defensive coach. So if you make the offer and you say, Bill, we need you. We'll pay you $25 million a year. And we know that a coach's salary doesn't come out of the salary cap, which just got extended. So you have even more. They're $800,000 under the cap right now, which is great. But do you go after Bill Belichick? Daniel, what do you think?
I was, when that topic came up, I supported the idea because I think that, you cannot, if the Niners get back to the big game and we lose again, you have to seriously take a look at Shanahan and be like, look, does this guy have it in him to coach a team to win a Super Bowl, right? If we lose another one like that, then you have a defensive coordinator in Bill Belichick, one of the all-time greats, in line to take over for the team if that situation does come up. And just like quarterbacks, right? There's always got to be a quarterback competition. There was a lot of competition when Trey Lance was there and Garoppolo. Competition, right? Why not put some pressure on your head coach to push it, all the way, and let's get this big game out of the way. Let's win a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. So in that token, I did support the idea. Now, I don't mind the idea of promoting from within. I think you have a couple of defensive quarterback coordinators that had been on that squad for over 5 years. Mm-hmm. So you have guys that know the scheme, know the players really well. I'm sure the players probably respect them as well. Mm-hmm. So, you kind of have either or, So, I like the idea of Belichick, but I also am not frowning upon the idea of promoting from within, because that's what Shanahan has been able to do over the past few seasons, right? DeMeco Ryans came in as a linebacker coach, succeeded Robert, what's his last name? Saleh. So anyways, that's my 2 cents on the situation.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dre, would you go for Bill Belichick?
Just based on his coaching resume, I mean, how can you deny a coach of his caliber? Now, at the same time, what's his philosophy defensively? Right now, we're a four down defensive line, 3 linebackers. Is he going to switch that up? I'm looking at it from a schematic standpoint, and then you also got to figure, let's say we bring in Belichick, and we're going through the season, and we go through a skid. Now, based on what Bill Belichick is doing defensively, is it going to mesh with Kyle Shanahan's philosophy? Does it create tension if things aren't going well? I'm looking at it from that standpoint. Again, Bill Belichick is Bill Belichick, and he's a Hall of Fame coach, probably going to go down as the greatest of all time. How can you not want somebody like that on your team? I'm just more concerned about the fit. Again, we were talking about Steve Wilkes not being the right fit, I think, philosophy-wise. I think he ran pretty much a similar scheme that we already had, and I think that's why Kyle Shanahan went out and got him, because he could see some similarities. But overall, I think the philosophy and what Steve Wilkes was doing ultimately was his demise when it was all said and done. So does this happen again the following season if we bring in a guy like Bill Belichick?
I think that, to be honest, I think when it comes to saying the message that we're going all in, I think that Bill Belichick is the message. And frankly, I feel like they've already offered him the job. I feel like, because I mean, you haven't heard any talk about who their new D coordinator is. I mean, I would think by Monday or Tuesday we should know who their coordinator is going to be, because next week you got the combine starting up. Like you have to figure this out quick.
Yeah.
Now he is a extremely good secondaries coach as well. And so when you have a secondary like we have now, we have Charvarius Ward, you have Diamador Lenore, you have a young group of players, Jair Brown, Hufanga. So like you have a good core in your secondary. And if the Niners were to go out and sign Snead away from the Chiefs because he's a free agent this year, or they go out and get a Patrick Surtain. Think about what he could do with that secondary and with that defense. And think about this as well. As an opposing coach and as an opposing a team of coaches, the coordinators and everything, you have to think about, we're taking on Kyle Shanahan on offense. On defense, we're going up against Bill Belichick on the sideline. They're on the same fucking sideline together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
This is like...
That's a super group, man. It's a super band.
This is like the Avengers of coaches. You know what I mean?
Staff. Yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah, you got Pro Bowl players and Pro Bowl coachings,
and then and just the intimidation factor alone on the players of the opposite team to say, "Holy shit!" Like, we got the big, we have to go up against Belichick now. Okay, now we're going against Kyle Shanahan. Okay, now we're going against Belichick. You know what I mean? So it's like you never have a break in terms of like, who you're going against.
Yeah, scheme-wise, definitely.
And, I was telling Daniel this on the phone the other day. To be honest, when it comes to like free agency, when we talk about what's next, I think that the Niners, to be honest, now that the salary cap has been extended and we're $800,000 under the salary cap, and the Niners and Parag, they're going to be working a whole bunch of what do you call it? I just blanked on it. Not negotiations, but restructures of contracts.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to get some more cap room.
Yeah. And I think a lot of these guys are up for it, and they're probably going to hit up Kittle. They're probably going to hit up Trent Williams.
Restructuring the signing bonuses is what I heard is going to happen to create more cap space.
And so by doing that, I think that, they're going to free up more cap room. And, I
think there's an opportunity to keep Ayuk in doing so.
Oh, yeah.
And
I think there's definitely an opportunity to keep Ayuk.
That's a must. I think that's a must.
I'm a pro Ayuk guy. I think the Niners need to sign Ayuk.
Yeah, we drafted him. It's not come in.
Here's a question, too. I'm going to ask you guys. Who would you rather have, Brandon Ayuk or Deebo Samuel?
Oh, I want both.
I know, so do I. I want both.
If you're talking strictly, obviously we want both. But
want both.
Let's break it down a little further than that. If you're talking about a prototypical wide receiver that plays the wide receiver position, Brandon Ayuk is that mold. He is that player.
Yeah, he is.
If you had. I understand what Deebo brings, the mentality, the physicality, all of that. And trust me, we're one of the only teams that has a player like Deebo Samuel, who let's call it what it is. He gets injured a lot. He's missed a lot of games in his Niner tenure. Brandon Ayuk hasn't. He's more durable. He plays the position the way it's supposed to be played. I'm not taking anything away from Deebo and what he does. But if you're talking about an actual player that plays the wide receiver position as it's supposed to be played, can create separation, is quick off the line of scrimmage, physical, can block, Brandon Ayuk is that receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he is. And I think you also have to look at it if you're in the Niner front office. Okay, you talk about injuries, right, Dre? McCaffrey has a long resume of histories. Now, thank God he did not get injured this season, but what's to say he doesn't get injured next season?
Yeah.
And you really want to have two dynamic receivers like that to pick up the slack for that McCaffrey, losing McCaffrey potentially for whatever, a game, whatever it is. But that's why another reason to re-sign Ayuk is to have that fallback plan just in case something happens to your Pro Bowl halfback.
You need to have a main pass catcher on either side of the field.
Absolutely.
When one of them goes down, and you're absolutely right, because the moment Deebo went down, Ayuk became the man, and his numbers skyrocketed that's why he finished the season the way he did.
Yeah,
1,300 plus yards, 7 touchdowns. And a second team All Pro. So he did what he had to do to put his name out there because he knew free agency was right around the corner. But I think the Niners really have to do right by him, and we need to bring BA back. So
yeah,
I'm hoping that's what we're looking to do.
And with Debo, I think the guy is electric. When he gets that ball, boy, it is magic. When you see him with the ball in the open field, or even running,
he turns into a running back. He turns into a running back once he has the ball in his hands.
So
it's
talented.
about getting the ball in his hands. Absolutely,
he is a must watch with the ball in his hand every single time he touches the ball. Dude, you're just like, here comes Debo. So
leader of yards after the catch I'm
telling you, having those two players is just going to make your offense that much more explosive. They got to do what they got to do to re-sign Debo, and then pile in some draft picks, get some O-line, in there, some talented O-linemen that you can really groom, and let's run this back again.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think the Niners are going to be doing a lot of restructuring, and they're going to bring in more talent and retain the talent they already have, because they know that you're not paying your quarterback $20 million a year. You're not even paying him $1 million a year. You know what I mean? I think he's getting like what, $800,000 or whatever.
Yeah.
So I mean, which is still a fuck ton of money for any of us, but still.
Yeah, it is. I'll take that.
Still, you don't have to pay your quarterback for 2 more years. This is the season that you have to go even bigger all in than you went last year. And so, look, there was talk about Dre Greenlaw. Look, he tore his Achilles, but then the surgeon said that he could be back for week 1, which I don't think is going to be the case.
Whoa.
But
we've
to
seen
me,
crazier things.
We have.
Everybody heals differently.
But they do.
Right. But here's my thing, though, is that for me, I think the guy that I would go for immediately, especially for insurance, is Azeez Al-Shaair. The guy had a massive year with the Titans. He's a former Niner linebacker.
Absolutely.
You can sign this guy, and he can play Drake Greenlaw's position until Greenlaw's 150% ready to come back. That could even be like week 5, week 6, week 7, week 10. Doesn't matter. I think Al-Shaair is your answer for Dre Greenlaw. And then think about this. When he comes back and you play 3 linebackers, imagine having those 3 back again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, they were pretty electric that first Super Bowl run in 2019. I know that was kind of the year, his coming out year.
Yeah.
I think you hit it right on the nose. We would have to have somebody in place of Dre Greenlaw until we're able to bring him back. That's definitely one route they can take. I don't know, from what I've understood about the early stages in this upcoming draft, is the linebackers is not a deep position in this year's draft. I would suggest, if the Niners are looking for linebacker depth, it's going to have to be done through free agency.
I mean, Al-Shaair this past season, where is it at? He had 163 total tackles, 84 solos, 79 assisted tackles. Jesus Christ.
He's the man on that.
Two sacks, 4 pass deflections.
And decent in coverage, if I remember correctly, too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and this guy's big against the run, and that's one thing that they're missing, is a guy who's great against the run. And so that's why I think that Al-Shaair, for me, is like target number 1. Like, we got to get somebody in here who can cover for Dre Greenlaw. Now, look, I would love for him just to take like a 1-year contract, but who knows what he's going to ask for. But I think the guy was on the sidelines during the Packer game. He was in the locker room with them.
Wow.
If that doesn't say that he wants to come back, I don't know what else does.
Yeah.
And then of course,
Andre, foreshadowing, baby. There we go.
Foreshadowing.
Insider information right there.
Well, I remember watching the game. He was there on the sideline, walking around. He was signing autographs and shit. I was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, that tells me he's comfortable being there. He wanted to be there. So let's take a look at the Niners' upcoming free agents on their team. Randy Gregory, he has you know what? I gotta blow this up. Hold on.
Yeah, see if
It's
you
way
can zoom
too
in
small.
a little bit.
It's so little. That's maybe too much. No,
You zoom back in. That's
I
good.
can
That's good.
Perfect.
I think
Yeah,
I can
perfect.
scroll
Oh,
over.
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, scroll over.
Oh, can I? Or not? Maybe I can't. Oh wait, no, I can't.
Wow.
That's so stupid.
Ad Central here. Jeez.
I know. God damn.
Vote for Rusty Hicks.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's as good as it's gonna get. All right. So Randy Gregory, I know he's got he's got a $14 million player or a team option. They're not going to pick that up. I mean,
No.
now granted, he might come back for a smaller salary, a 1-year deal, if they tell him, "Hey, we're going all in."
Yeah,
But
he knows we're here. We're here to win now. So,
and
yeah,
more than
maybe he
likely,
does
he's
take a
probably gone.
player friendly cut. To
Yeah.
his pay. Yeah.
So maybe I put a maybe on him coming back if they give him a smaller deal, not a $14 million option. That's ridiculous.
No.
Chase Young. I know that Nick Bosa said that he wanted him back. He wanted him to be back on the team. But you know, that's great. I would love to have him back on the team too. But the thing is that I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think he's going to come back for anything less than, what, 10 million? Who knows?
A year. Yeah.
But he's a guy as well that could be staying in free agency for a while, that he doesn't get the contract and he goes back to the Niners for a better deal. Look at Cody Bellinger for the fucking Cubs. He finally signed. He went back to the Cubs for 3 years, $80 million. I'm like, fuck. The Giants couldn't offer him that. What the fuck?
Oh,
Yeah,
God.
seriously.
Giants can't get anybody.
Whole nother wound.
Another one.
Yeah. That's a whole nother stream.
Go
Sam
Giants.
Darnold, he's gone. Javon Kinlaw is another guy I think you can bring back for.
He played really well down the stretch. He was we were utilizing him a lot more, obviously due to the injuries to Eric Armstead.
Yeah,
he's so injury prone.
He is injury prone.
He's just a big guy.
He had his first full season. He had his first full season. Didn't get injured. Again, played well down the stretch. I understand. Probably, most likely not. But
I mean, he adds depth. He does add depth.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's one guy I would like to see them bring back. Is Javon Kinlaw.
He is big inside. Yes.
Gregory and Chase Young. I would almost take Javon Kinlaw over those two because we need his depth. We need his inside run stopping ability. If you partner, you get him and you get Al-Shaair on the same team, that's going to be dynamite. Isaiah Oliver, fuck off. He's gone already. Tayshaun Gibson, you were a great Niner. Goodbye. Because you got Hufanga and you got Jair Brown. So you're set. Sebastian Joseph Day, see you later. Oren Burks, I mean, if he wants to come back for $1 million, $2 million, maybe, but a 1-year contract.
Special teams ace.
Yeah, I'm not gonna, break the bank for him.
Special team,
Cleveland Farrell, I think
I'd like to bring him.
I'd like to bring him back. We missed him badly in the playoffs. That would hurt.
We did. Loss.
John Feliciano, he's probably gone. Kevin Givens, he's probably gone. Ray McLeod, he's gone. Flanagan Fowles, he might come back. Ross Dwelly, he was hurt anyway, so he's probably gone. I think Brandon Allen comes back because where else is he going to go? Yeah. Chris Conley will probably stick around for preseason. I think he did a good job. Logan Ryan's gone. I don't even know who the fuck Matt Pryor is. He's gone.
That's a big one right there.
He's not a kicker, so I don't need a Matt Pryor who's not a kicker. Juwan Jennings. Do you guys think that they should make a contract or offer a contract to Juwan Jennings? And if so, what kind of contract year-wise do you guys think he deserves, or the Niners should even offer him?
I think he'd be great to bring back. Obviously, the priority would be to get Brandon Ayuk, right? That should be the priority. First and foremost, let's knock that out of the way. If Juwan Jennings is still around and is wanting to come back on what's he at, $940,000 a year, you give him a nice bump, give him a good 3-year contract, and hopefully make him happy. Now, will other teams pay more money for him? Probably. He'll probably get a bigger offer.
Wide receiver hungry teams. Yeah, you're right.
Right, and
remember,
he might
he's a
take off.
restricted free agent, so whatever a team offers him, we can match that.
Yeah. That's the beautiful thing about that.
I think having that plays into him possibly being back next year. I think we will match any offer that somebody's going to pull him away. He fits our scheme very, very well, and he's wonderful on third and fourth down.
And he's another good blocker too. He's a good blocking wide receiver.
Exactly, schematic wise, he does his job, and I think he rated a top path blocking or run blocking wide receiver in the entire league.
Yeah,
I think he was behind one wide receiver, and I can't remember who it was, but he was right up there as far as run blocking from the wide receiver position. Again, he fits the scheme very well, and he does the dirty work.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of Juwan Jennings. He was clutch in the playoffs and the Super Bowl. All postseason, he was huge. Yes. But another team could look at that and say, dude, I want that guy as my second receiver or third. He's not a number one.
No, not at all.
He's not a number one.
He brings physicality. He brings a mental toughness that a lot of teams are now looking for, and the yards after catch ability as well too. He's a big receiver. He's a big guy.
Yeah, he has height.
He doesn't go down.
What's his height? How tall is that guy?
He's tall. Let me see. He is. This is all contracts. Doesn't say on here because this is the contract website.
Another seventh rounder.
Yeah, seventh rounder
out of the University of Tennessee.
And so the thing too is that when a guy like Ray McLeod, I'm sorry, but what's his name? Ronnie Bell. I would put him right in his spot next year.
Yeah, no.
He disappeared. Ronnie Bell didn't touch the field in the postseason. He wasn't out in the Super Bowl.
You know how Kyle Shanahan is with rookie receivers. So.
I think Ray McLeod. I think he gets taken over by Ronnie Bell or somebody else that they possibly draft in this upcoming draft. Obviously, offensive lineman is going to be huge for them in this coming draft, but there's what's his name? Trent Brown from the Patriots, who's a free agent, offensive lineman. He's a right guard. He used to be a Niner. I think he's somebody that they should go after. Xavier Howard is a free agent.
He just got released by the Dolphins.
Yeah. I mean, that's a guy. Look, if you go out and you sign Xavier Howard, now you have Howard and Charvarius Ward as your corners. That's elite. That's huge.
Well, yeah, and then you can move
Lenore
to nickel.
Yeah,
but Lenore is badass, dude. Man, that guy. He's
really good.
He plays bigger than he actually is. Which
I like him. I like Lenore, man.
Like
the other crazy thing to think about is, I've heard the trade, not an official trade offer, but speculation trade. Like, hey, they could do this. Is imagine if the Niners packaged like Deebo Samuel and a draft pick for Patrick Surtain. Imagine having Surtain and Ward out there. I mean, that's like shut down city right there. But I don't know. I think no matter what people say about Deebo Samuel, I think he's so important to this offense. When he's out there, all eyes are on him and McCaffrey all the time. So it's when you eliminate that and you say, it's fine, get rid of him. We have Ayuk. We're fine. We saw what happens when he's not in the lineup during the year. When it was just Ayuk, it wasn't the same. When he came back, totally different offense. They're more dynamic.
They are.
So
he's electric, man.
I still think that offensive line is the first place that. Well, Al-Shaair for me is the first guy that I think they should target, and then offensive line comes next. And I think that I would sign two of them because look, that fucking what's his name, Feliciano or Spencer Burford. That's not the answer. Feliciano's probably going to go. And McKivitz, he sucks too. I mean, really, it's like you have Trent Williams, Aaron Banks, and then a bunch of question marks. Jake Brendel, they signed him to a contract. Dude, they might even cut him and get that money back. Yeah. And I think that they need to sign at least two offensive linemen to really bolster up this offensive line. Because you saw in that Super Bowl, That's what failed him, was the offensive line not being able to block for Purdy.
Well, it definitely failed. You're right. It definitely failed. And I think you're right. You're hitting it. O-line. If you get them as free agents, great. Invest in the draft. I think right now we got the 31st pick.
Yes.
Let's get an O-lineman. Let's just get some guys in, and
I think with whatever you decide to do in free agency, if you're going to go hard at a shutdown corner, then your first pick in the first round of the draft needs to be an O-lineman. If you go out and spend money on offensive lineman, I think your first pick in the draft has to be a shutdown corner.
Yeah.
You have a guy like Graham Barton at Duke, who's played 4 years of college, over 2,000 snaps in the college rankings, and can play all over the offensive line. He can play center, he can play guard, he can play tackle. He did it all throughout college, 4 years, lots of football. I think he's somebody you can look to for added depth on the offensive lineman, and obviously to start right off the bat. If you don't, I think you definitely look corner. I think there's a couple of guys out of Alabama you could look at as far as shutdown corners. Who's that one cat? Kool-Aid? Is that his first name? Kool-Aid McKinstry out of Alabama. He's somebody you could look at in the for the 31st pick. Ball hawk, big in stature, somebody the prototypical guy the Niners like to draft at that position. So there's a couple of guys you can add to depth this year out of the draft.
You also got that's the wrong one. I'm trying to find offensive linemen. What was offensive tackles? That should probably help. Tyrion Smith, but he's from.
I think if there's an opportunity to get a better right tackle, I think you got to look at that, because McKivitz. I think if you look at the whole year entirely, I think the right tackle was a big was probably one of our weakest links on the offensive line. But then you can look at the guard position as well too. Really inconsistent with the guard play.
It's hard. You don't see it very often drafting an O-lineman, even outside the first round, that makes it as a starter. I mean, if you look at Aaron Banks, he was a second or a third round pick. And it took him a good 2 seasons to kind of.
He didn't play his whole first year. He sat on the bench, and then he was forced to start the following year. And he had a great first year. You didn't hear his name very much.
Yeah, so even if you invest draft picks into your O-line, they might not produce on that first year. So you really got to get some good free agents to step in and hold it down.
Well, and that's the other thing too, is that, if the Niners bring in a guy like Bill Belichick, right? Then you look over at like Trent Brown, who's
who is a Patriot? Yeah, Patriot.
He was a Patriot. He might say, "Yeah, I'll go there." I already know Belichick's going to be there. That's going to work out. So I think that O-line it has to be addressed. And to be honest, I think that they're probably going to draft an O-lineman with their first pick, because it has to be addressed.
Yes.
But if you sign two guys, and let's say because at pick number 30 or 31, I think it's 30 they have. I mean, you can draft like the best, center. You can draft the best at a given position, like, may it be right guard, right tackle, or center. You can probably get the best one in that category.
Well, that's why this guy out of Duke is rated, I think, one of the top offensive linemen in the draft. And again, he can play multiple positions, and Kyle Shanahan's always looking for versatility on the offensive line in case of injury. And this guy fits that position. He plays guard, he plays tackle, he plays center, and he did it at a very high level, and he played it for 4 years. I think he's the guy you got to look to bolster that offensive lineman if you want to bolster the offensive line through the draft.
Yeah, because some of these guys aren't going to be there. Like, like the top guys aren't, like Joe Alt, not going to be there. Because we're looking at pick number 30. But I mean, who else is there? Latham from Alabama could be there, and he's really good. Mims from Georgia, he's really good. Guy's 6'7". That's crazy. a 6'7",
dude.
big old dude.
Yeah.
Latham from Alabama, he's 6'6". Like Jesus, these guys, 6'6", 360. Mims is 6'7", 340. You know, so
Monster guys.
Yeah,
I think if you get one of these guys and then you sign another one or you sign two more, I think you really need to go all in. And to be honest, look, I think the Niners are going to go over the salary cap and just spend as much money as they can possibly can.
They're going to try to buy.
This is it.
They're going to try to buy a Super Bowl.
They made it to the Super Bowl. They maximized all of their home games this year. All of them that they could possibly have. They maximized all of them. They made it to the Super Bowl, which again pays you. They made money just getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
merchandise sales, all that shit. And so you can't tell me like, oh well, they're a little tight for money. No, right now they have a fat bag of money and they're ready to fucking spend.
Do or die.
It's do or die.
Yeah,
it's do or die.
All in. Do whatever it takes. Do whatever it takes to bring it home.
Yeah, and you also have to look at it as, again, I'm going back to Purdy. You got a talented young quarterback that should be able to continue to put that team in position, right?
Yeah, and
you gotta have
paying him pennies on the dollar,
right?
Exactly.
So if
take advantage of that.
Keep on adding talent around the kid, and he should continue to produce at a very high level.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the show. I want to thank Daniel and DreArea for coming out here again and delivering a fire stream.
Heck yeah.
Let's go.
Glad to do it. Had a great season, a great run, and can't wait to start talking more Niner football in the
now,
Niners.
Throughout the season, especially if they make an announcement and they get like a Bill Belichick or whoever the fuck they get, we'll probably go live again to talk about that.
For sure.
Any major news, I think we should discuss having a
absolutely, absolutely,
break it down. Let's do it.
But that's gonna do it. I mean, look, they had a great season, but we're not done yet. But we're moving on to next season. I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and dwell on we finally kind of broke down. Well, I think we broke down what went wrong.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some more things that went wrong as well. But like those were the biggest ones. I mean, the fumble in the first drive, that was so like, what?
The special team,
the fuck just happened?
The special teams miss, the special teams fumble.
Oh, that was the
Chiefs,
worst.
Which put the Chiefs, the very next play, valiantly puts up 7. So again, I think you said it. We hit the major points, but there was definitely a few more that could have been addressed.
And that fumble, it was a punt.
First lead.
It touched, or it was a kickoff. I know it was a punt, and it touched Darrell Luter, and then Ray McLeod just should have fell on it, but he tried to pick it up, and then he never got a hold of it. And it's funny because up until then, we were in the driver's seat. I mean, like we had all the momentum.
We had the lead.
Mm-hmm.
We had the lead. We get that ball. Who knows what we do? We drive down, kick a field goal, or put up
I can't remember
touchdown. We put him in a bigger hole. So
was that 10-0 or was that 3-0 at that point? It might have been 3-0. I don't have the game anymore.
Look it up.
Yeah. I already closed that window. I was like, I've closed that chapter in my life.
What was it?
But man, it is what it is, man.
Yeah.
But everybody at home who's watching the show, make sure you smash the like button. You smash the like button and subscribe to the channel. We do appreciate it. We're at 206 subscribers, and that's great for a channel that started at the postseason, basically.
Let's go.
So, and then we have all next season and the off season to really get things going. So, guys, please subscribe to the channel and make sure you smash the like button. And until next time, guys, fucking go Niners!
Go Niners, baby!
Go.
Yes.
Until next.
That's
season.
right. Faithful we are. We'll always be. All right, guys. We'll see you next time.